Hi guys, welcome to Nested Gardens. I'm Jackie and today I am here in my second favorite spot in the whole world, my indoor grow space, and I am talking all about the essential things that you're going to need to start your garden from seeds indoors this year. Now, I hear from a lot of people who want to get started growing from seed, but they just feel that it's all very overwhelming and they don't know where to get started. Well, basically there's only 4 essential things that you need, and I'm here to walk you through it. So let's get started. All right, so just like growing outside, plants only need a few essential things to survive and be happy. They need space to grow, they need soil to grow in, they need sunlight, and they need water. So when you set up your space, you just want to mimic that as best you can. Starting with sun. If you're fortunate enough to have a beautiful big bank of south-facing windows, then you've got sun checked off. That's all you really need. You can get a little stand. I like rolly carts. That's where I started, with 3 little shelves, and you can wheel them up to your window and have your trays there and start your seeds. But if you're like me and you don't have a beautiful bank of south-facing windows, the only south-facing window I have is in my pantry and my bedroom, and I tried to grow everything in my bedroom, and my husband didn't like it very much. So anyways, we went to artificial light. Now, you can go to the hardware store and find full spectrum fluorescent bulbs that are made for growing plants, or you can go with an LED variety. The technology is quite advanced and there are really great models out there. That's what I have here. These are LEDs, and there's 2 different settings, one for getting foliage growth and one for encouraging blooms. They were originally developed for marijuana, but they work for my herbs and vegetables just fine. So the only thing that I would say is that if you are running LED lights, things can get a little bit psychedelic in your house, so you might want to consider blinds for your windows or some sort of curtain that can block the light, because when these are all going and I'm working in here, the light's very intense on my eyes, so I need something to kind of block that out. Next, we can talk about soil and the things, the pots or the things that are going to contain our soil, because they do go together. Now, I just get a basic potting mix. There are lots of different varieties available, but Promix is the brand that I really like and recommend. And there's also recipes online for making your own. It needs to be nutritious. It needs to have good aeration so that it's light and fluffy and it doesn't overwhelm the seeds. And then it also has to have good water retention. So that's kind of the blend that they prepare for you, or you can, like I said, get a recipe online and try your hand at making your own. As far as something to contain your soil in, there's lots of different things available. There's the little peat pots, there's the little cow patties. If you start looking, you'll find all different kinds of options for little pots to start your seedlings. I personally like this the best. It's a 72 cell tray, and these are standard sizes, and then it fits in a base, and they actually go 3 across on my shelves. So really, it's a nice balance between finding a size that's right for your seed, which is usually starting smaller and then potting up to bigger sizes as your seedling grows. So it's a balance between finding that in your tray and then also finding something that will fit well into your space. So you want to be able to maximize everything and make it as efficient as possible. That's why, as opposed to circular pots, I like these square ones, because they can just butt up right against, and then there's not wasted airspace. So if I were to have a pot like this, I would grow it with a base, some sort of plastic tray underneath. And also, when I first got started, I made my own little pots, and I used these lasagna trays. I kind of cinched them up, and these work just as well to it just catches the water underneath, and it also allows you to water from underneath, which we'll talk about in a minute. So speaking of watering from underneath, you're going to want to water from underneath so that the soil can soak up and it'll give moisture to the roots. You're also going to want to water from on top. But because your seedlings are going to start out very small and delicate, you want to be able to have something that can mist them gently. That's why I would recommend something like this. Now, I believe this original purpose is to spray chemicals on the plant, but I never use chemicals. I just use water. And it's a pump, so you put the water in there, you give it some pressure, and then it comes out in a nice little even mist, and it can saturate your seedlings without dislodging them from their roots. Now, you want to find something that has a good type of pour. Now, thanks to Tropicana, I told you it doesn't have to be expensive, I have these that I use for watering, and they're really nice, even steady flow. and it's easy to control. The problem with just splooshing the water on when it's a little seedling is it might actually dislodge it from the soil, and then that won't be very good. As far as seedling size and how to plant them and when to plant them, if you're ordering seeds and you get the package, a lot of the directions specific for the seed that you're growing should be on the back of your package. But a general rule of thumb is the smaller the seed, the higher up it should be. So if it's a sturdy seed, like a bean, for example, it can go down in about 3 times the depth of the seed height. Whereas something like celery, which is basically like a powder, or strawberries is also a really small seed, is something that you just want to press into the soil on the top. So if you're interested in learning how to make your own pots using newsprint, then I have a video that I'll link in the description below. But it's super simple and easy and also very economical. I use old phone book paper, or you can use flyers or newspapers to make your own paper pots. And those are my absolute favorite for growing tomatoes, because I fill up the soil halfway, plant my tomato seed, and as the tomato gets bigger, it sends out little rootlings along the stem. And if you continue to add soil to it, then it'll make it a very nice, healthy tomato seedling. So be sure to check that out. I have links also to everything that I've showed you today, and it's a great place to get started. But like I said, if you've got a sunny window and a couple of trays, a package of seeds, and a bag of soil, then you've got everything you need to get started. And I'd really like to encourage you to do that. Just get growing and get your hands dirty, and you'll learn along the way. So until the next one, I hope that you have a great day and happy growing. See you later. Bye.